HHDG.
Peace, y'all. We're on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And big shout out to everyone tuning in through our Facebook group, HHDG, Hip Hop Discussion Group, as well as our YouTube channel. As always, you can check out our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com. Check out the latest music, mixtapes, as well as our merch and upcoming events. For tonight, we have two talented, multi-talented duo repping Buffalo 716 to be exact, and producers and MCs. You know, it's great to know that you have two in a group that, you know, share those two talents. I'm sure they vibe off of each other and everything. But with their latest project, We Landed on the Moon, which dropped last month, actually May 26th. Today's June 26th, so it's been exactly a month. Dope work mixing in the elements with the president speaking, sound bites, you know, of space exploration and everything, as well as, you know, still keeping it hip hop. The lyrics, if y'all haven't listened yet, these two are definitely a tandem. The way they vibe off each other and rock on the mic, and it shows. Even if you go back to their debut, Us Versus Them was dropped in 2018, I believe. You know, they continue to push, you know, their music, and we definitely gonna get into the creative process of the new album, as well as, you know, how they came to be. Talk a little bit about, you know, as well as their life as well, because I know that we got a photographer here, so we talk about, you know, a little bit of that as well. But again, dope new project, We Landed on the Moon, dropped on May 26th. We're going to talk about that and much more. So without further ado, repping Buffalo, I'd like to introduce the league, which is Pola and Program.
What up, what up?
What up, what up, what up?
Peace.
What up, world?
How you doing,
How y'all
man?
doing?
Good, man.
Chilling.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Quite the introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. Definitely. You know, I got to know who I'm speaking to before I put you on the screen.
Word.
Appreciate that.
So, before we even get into the new album, being that both of you are MCs and producers, which came first?
Rapping. Definitely rapping, I think, right? Because you need when you start making beats, like you need something. You need like equipment. You need something. With rapping, like you don't need nothing. You can just rap. So
Yeah, man. Same. If it's just between those two, it's rapping.
Yeah. Like football and basketball. All you need is the ball.
right, yeah.
Almost every other sport, you got to have equipment. You got a place to be at and everything.
Yeah.
All you need is a field and a court.
Yep. Absolutely.
Definitely. Okay. So MCing first. All right. So did you have the same names, or, you know, was there a previous name that you went by?
Shit. We definitely had a couple personnel changes, a couple name changes over the years, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'd say for the most part, like I've been programmed for, you know, as long as I can remember now. So I wouldn't say anything else counts before that. Like you ain't gonna find no music by me under like a different, you know what I mean? Like there's no like, you know.
I mean, you'll definitely find music from me out there under a different name. I was Mastro for quite a while, and then took a little hiatus and was working on playing a lot of instruments and putting together a little instrumental project with all my own instrumentals and all my own, you know, playing and everything like that, and kind of started looking at shit a little bit different. And that's when I made the rebranding over into Pola.
Now you mentioned playing instruments. I know you play the guitar. Is there anything else that you're talented in?
I mean, I play the guitar, the bass. I got a drum set. I could keep a beat, but I'm not the greatest. I played saxophone in high school and shit. So
Yeah, he could do it all.
I could,
he's being humble right now, but he
keys,
could do it all. He could play the keys. He could sing. He could do.
Put it in front of me for a day or two, I'm gonna figure out how to play it. So
Nice.
I mean, not gonna be amazing.
But I'd say, you're probably what nastiest on the guitar.
I was gonna say the guitar. That's your
primary. Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was like 12. Taught myself, no lessons really, and just kind of did whatever I wanted to do. So that's my primary for sure.
Okay, that's dope. What about you, program? Just strictly the production?
Yeah, man. Like for me, it's always just been like beats and rhymes. I can't play anything, but I guess if you put a keyboard in front of me, I can get myself in key in a couple minutes. But other than that, nah, man, I'm just strictly beats and rhymes and records.
Okay. MPC is still an instrument.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in the way I make beats, like I treat the MPC like an instrument with the way I make stuff. So, yeah, never been ashamed to say I can't play no instruments.
Right.
I got this guy for. And then we got other homies in the crew, like my man Doc Obvious. Like he's also a super talented multi-instrumentalist. You know what I mean? So like there's really no need when I'm surrounded by cats like that. So
definitely. Now I see you got the Buffalo banner in the back.
Oh yeah, we rep hard.
Football fans since childhood.
Yup. Fumbly rumbly days. Yep.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah, games get real emotional over
here.
Yeah, everything you see on TV about Bills fans.
It's true.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're not choke slamming each other through tables or nothing. But
we're not, but
yeah.
We're standing next to.
I'm saying, someone can get it.
Now, being that I've been to plenty of Giants games in Giant Stadium, I know how cold it gets, but that's nothing compared to up in Buffalo. Just give me an idea how that is up there.
Oh man, I mean, I went to what was the game that we went to in New England 2 years ago, and it was like below 0 with the wind. So like no matter how bundled up you got, like the snow was blowing right in your face, and like it gets pretty bad, man. It gets pretty bad. But obviously when you're in that mind state,
you don't feel it.
It don't really matter at the end of the day. You get back to your car and you try to hit your gas pedal and realize you can't even feel your feet anymore, and you kind of forget when you lost feeling of it in the first place. But that's all part of it.
Dope. Are there any other family members that influenced you into MCing and production?
I got two older brothers that are like one's 11 years older than me and one's 8 years older than me. So when I was like 7 or 8, you know what I'm saying? That's when like Wu-Tang Forever was out and shit like that. So
okay,
definitely had, you know what I'm saying? Like the influence was there and it trickled down. But no one in my family could play no instruments or nothing though. Like we're just a bunch of music fans.
Yeah, but I have like no music people in my family either. All the people in my family that were creative were like painters and like that type of artist, drawing and sculpting with clay and shit like that. No musicians in my family, so just kind of happened.
Yeah, my great grandfather was a world-class yodeler. Actually, let me.
Oh, okay.
Let that be noted. Yeah.
You got any recordings of it?
Nah. They were all destroyed in the house fire back in like the early 1900s. Yeah. So
I've seen program, some of your vinyl collection. as you can see, I'm also a
Word,
vinyl.
yeah, man, yo, as soon as the joint popped up, I'm like, all right, what do we got here? We got the Roots.
You got the Griselda
Yep,
Ghost
exactly.
joint in the
Yeah, I
bag.
see it. Yep, you got the Rome Streets joint, I think. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, yeah, man. I'm a big record head, man. We both are.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I just kind of always like gravitated towards like, you know, the record, like something about it. You know how it is, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Love
So
it.
aside from hip hop, what was going on in your homes growing up?
Oh
What
man,
type of music?
So much.
yeah. Like my mom was on some like Beatles and Earth, Wind and Fire,
Mm.
and my pops was on some like Elton John and Roger Troutman and Zapp.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, like
Little mix right there.
my
Right.
dad was all about like Harry Connick Jr. when I was growing up.
Mhm.
And then
Yo, but hold up. His pops was a break dancer.
Oh, word?
Yeah, his pops was a break dancer, like a windmilling
Nope.
motherfucker. Like, yeah, he forgot I forgot about that shit.
If you met him, you would never in a million years.
You would never know.
Never in
Yeah.
a million years. But yeah, and then like my mom would listen to really anything that was funky. You know, she would listen to everything from old disco and Earth, Wind and Fire and shit to like
Right.
Destiny's Child and Justin Timberlake, whatever was good that was grooving and shit. So
Mhm.
it was all over the place.
That's dope. Dope. So what was your father's name back then when he was b-boying?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, no,
man,
you gotta ask him that one day.
Oh man, I wish. I mean, I've only seen him, do it like 2 or 3 times in my entire life, and it's only
Okay.
when alcohol is heavily influenced what's going on.
I'm not taking the last one, man.
That's So being from Buffalo, I'm not gonna stick to it, but we all know, how Griselda really put the map on the city.
Word.
And let it know that, it's not just where I'm from, New York City, that, has a lot of hip hop talent. And
Right,
and if you really look at the map, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, Rochester, Toronto, they're all in that same area. It's like,
yeah, man, Western New York.
There's a lot of
yeah, man.
places you just named. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's obviously, so you're from New York City, so you were always in the middle of it, but for us, we always knew. We were like, man, like so many motherfuckers from the city that like all it takes is one.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, there's definitely a lot of talented dudes. Yeah, and Gunman. God bless him, yo. He's a genius.
Yep.
I don't think people give him enough credit for the. It's not even like the music. It was obviously way bigger than the music. It was
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he doesn't get enough credit for
He architected the whole thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like
nothing happened by accident. I'll tell you that. Like
Yeah.
nothing happened by accident. Like when he's on Twitter, popping about.
Yeah, when he's talking to shit, man. Yeah, it's like it's warranted.
Yeah,
It's warranted. He's a motherfucker who deserves to be able to talk that shit.
And the fashion and designer portion of it, aside from the music.
Right,
that
exactly.
There, and where he is right now, and certain people that I wasn't too familiar with in the fashion industry that mess with him, and in his videos now and stuff.
Right.
He knew what he was doing.
He put out a commercial today for Google. With
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Like I never really gave a you know what I'm saying about any of the fashion stuff respectfully, but it was all like the music, and I always like respected.
Just the hustle.
Yeah, it's just like it's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Yep.
He's a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I only talked to him once or twice ever, but he's a real down to earth dude. He's not on some like big head shit,
Yeah.
You can find him around just when he's here, he's just out and about and just he's a good dude.
That's dope. So, us versus them. MPC, a recorder, and a microphone, and y'all just went in.
We just went in, man. We just put that out. That was like just we had to put something out. There was like no cohesive like flow to it really. We just put a couple tracks that we were working on at that time out on a joint. It
was our first like project as the league.
Yeah.
We just needed something to really like establish. We were already shows around. We had like singles and stuff. I think the league from right.
Yeah, we had the title track from the album, The League. That was like the first joint we put out. We used to be in a group called Prime Example. Before we were the league, we had two other MCs in a group with us, and we were in a group called Prime Example. So when that kind of phased out, me and Pola, we just like set off and did our own thing and formed the league and just, continued as a duo. And then we dropped Us Versus Them. But it was the same exact formula for We Landed on the Moon. Same MPC, same recorder, same microphone. You know what I mean? We just kind of went in with more of a plan. But yeah, I love Us Versus Them still. You know what I mean? That was like humble beginnings type shit.
Fire's my joint on there.
Word. I heard you had a fire. Word.
So give us, a glimpse around that time that you made that. What was going on in Buffalo? Like who was part of the crew in your circle at that time? Because I know it was Optimus Prime was around.
Yeah, DJ Optimus Prime. We've been fucking with Optimus Prime since the Genesis. He's been down with us since, for the better part of like 13 years now. Since we were like youngins, before we even were in a position to be putting music out. He was the one that was like, make sure y'all got this right. Make sure you got this right. Make sure your songs got hooks. You know what I mean? So he's been with us since like that.
Prime's family.
Yeah.
That's family right there. But I mean, like he said, we had our homie Doc Obvious.
Yeah, this was what, 2017? 2018?
Around that time. Yeah. I mean, our crew has always been like a small circle. Like it's only really always kind of been us. We know a lot of the people around the Buffalo scene, and like we've been really doing shit together since like 2011 or so. Okay. So like over the past 12 years, we've seen the different. There was a time when us and some of our friends were like the ones popping around and doing all the shows around, and then it became someone else, and then someone else, and we've seen kind of the phases go in and out, and we're not the 21-year-olds anymore, and it's cool, right? But like we've always kind of kept like our own when it comes to like we're at my house in my basement, you know what I mean? And when it comes to like having people at the crib and like chilling and like just breaking bread and just enjoying time with each other and shit, like we have a small circle, so we don't, but like people like Prime, and I mean I don't even know who else, like I mean, so like you mentioned Gaines, I don't know if you know like Gaines and Tony Boy. Yeah. And those dudes, like those are our guys. We've been down with them for 10 years doing shit with them and for the music, and like I don't know if you've ever heard of T-Pop, but like that's the homie, like
Pseudo Intellectuals.
That's
another group that's always kind of been like extended fam. But yeah, for the most part, it's just been me, Pola, and Doc Obvious.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, when we were working on Us Versus Them, it was just kind of that, just the same thing we do now, just getting up, smoking weed, throwing out records, going through beats,
finding something that sounds right, writing, and like
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of joints that don't make the cut. You know what I mean? But like we just make a whole bunch of songs and start figuring out what works with each other and shit.
Or you know what we did? You know what we did a lot for that album too is like we would get up and we would be writing to like Pete Rock beats, right? And we would have like ill joints to Pete Rock beats, and then I would go through beats that I had made already and be like, yo, this sounds like if we flowed these verses over this beat, it sound, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We did that a lot I remember doing that a lot for that album.
That's dope. Yeah. So how's your process when it comes to rhyming? Because when I listen to Us Versus Them and then listening to We Landed on the Moon, I notice how your vibe is a little more seamless on the new album.
Mm-hmm.
It was intentional.
Yeah.
You know, like I think we had a little bit more of a, instead of a just, you know, you write your verse and I'll write my verse. Mm-hmm. And then, just, you know, like I think each song, put it this way, it took us a lot longer to make We Landed on the Moon than it took us to make Us Versus Them, because every single song on We Landed on the Moon had a purpose and like a thought process behind the beginning of it, you know? So that's probably why you hear more of like a seamless,
that cohesiveness
on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, we helping figure out how, you know, he's gonna end his bar, so I know the way to come into my bar and like figure that type of shit out. You know. And
it was a slow burn. There was like zero pressure. It was literally like getting up, Chinese food. If we make a joint, we make a joint. Some nights we would make 3, and then we would get up for 2 weeks and not make anything. You know what I mean? So it was like it was definitely a slow burn. But we had like the idea for We Landed on the Moon for a long ass time. Like right after we finished Us Versus Them, it was almost like I know what the next joint, because that was more like an EP. So when we put that out, I was like, I know what the full length is going to be. You know, we got the idea for We Landed on the Moon.
Yeah,
because he had he's got it's like man, I wish we had it here. It's like it's a vinyl of the moon landing. Like you know what I mean? It's like a broadcast of like, so on side A, it's like, you know, them dropping all these facts about the moon, and then side B, they got all the audio clips that people hear throughout the album was pulled off of an actual record, like a moon landing record.
Wow.
Everything off that album is off of vinyl, like all that audio and shit.
So we saw that and then thought about the scene from the movie Dumb and Dumber. I don't know how many people saw the movie Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey, but there's a scene where he's walking out of the bar and there's a framed article of the moon landing on the wall, and him, you know, being the character that he is, doesn't realize that it's an old news clipping. So he yells out in excitement, "We landed on the moon." So just, you know, you just take an inside joke and run with it, and it became an album that people fuck with. So that's cool.
That's interesting right there.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Where did you find that vinyl at?
Damn.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you, honestly. I don't know.
You had it for years.
Yeah.
Because I remember always like seeing it. So we don't live together no more, but we were roommates for like a solid 8 years, like living in different apartments. At one apartment it was 5 homies. At one apartment it was just us, you know what I mean? So like always hauling records and shit. Like we both got mad records. So I remember like, you know, putting the records away and always seeing that moon record. So you had that shit for years.
But I don't know if I bought it. I don't know. Like I've had a lot of people just give me records over the years. Like my grandma gave me a bunch of records, and like I used to work at the county, and like a bunch of dudes would just bring me all their old record collections because they knew that I collected. So like
usually that shit is whacked.
Who knows? Yeah, a lot of it was just a lot of garbage. You know what I mean? And like I refuse to throw shit out. So like I still have all of that, and you know, it's off to a different shelf, but it could have easily been from one of their collections, and we just grabbed it, you know.
Yeah, man.
The world will never know.
Yeah. Just like the landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Got conspiracy theorists in my DM, like, you know,
right?
No, technically.
It's funny that you mentioned that you've seen the movie The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say I know it well enough to be
Okay.
able to, like, recall certain.
There's actually a documentary about the film and Stanley Kubrick, and there's some type of connection between the moon landing. I forgot exactly how it was. I gotta watch the documentary again, but somehow there's certain things in the film that relate to the so-called moon landing.
Huh.
There was a lot of things that Stanley Kubrick put into that movie that pissed Stephen King off.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. I gotta check it out.
Yeah. I never heard that before. That's definitely, I'm gonna have to go and check.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, Paula, how did you get into photography?
Oh man. I don't even know, honestly. I got my first camera when I was like 11, and I remember just walking around, which it was like it was like one of those small little joints that was like the size of a deck of cards, and like when you turned it on, the little lens would come out.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't anything crazy.
Digital cameras,
but it was. I mean, we're talking almost 20 years ago.
2 megapixels.
So, no, I think it was like, I want to say it was like 6.5 megapixels, and it had like a tiny little screen on the back that looked like
it was just pixels. They weren't mega yet.
It took forever to load everything up. But like, no, I took pictures for a long time. I did that, and then like I got a new camera when I was like 15 or so, and I was using that heavily for a couple years with like lights and the umbrellas and all that shit. And then honestly, once I started getting back into music, well, not back into music, but once I started like really going hard with rap, like in like 2011 or so is when I stopped taking as many pictures and really kind of put the camera down for quite a while. And then I got back into it after a couple of years, and then I put it down again for a little bit. And now over the past 2 years or so, I've just been really back into it and stuff. So it's always just kind of been there. And I'm one of those people where like I'll spend 6 months doing nothing but taking pictures, and I spend 6 months doing nothing but rapping, and spend 6 months doing nothing but playing guitar. And so you never know. And in 3 more months, you might not see me take another picture because I'll just be deep in writing rhymes or something.
Okay.
Working on a solo album.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, he took the moon picture that you see on the album. He took that picture.
Yeah.
Like he went to the store, right? Tell him.
Yeah, like I rented a lens that's, this fucking big, and I waited until we had a full moon, and I was literally just out in my driveway and took that picture and edited it up. I made that whole cover. I made the back artwork and everything, so that picture's all me.
That's dope.
But I don't usually do moon pictures and like astro stuff. I mean, if you check my Instagram, you'll clearly see that picture was very intentional. It's a one-time deal, but
yeah. I see you like doing portraits, cars, and nature.
I like just walking around and just taking pictures of whatever
Capture,
I see. You know what I mean? It's really just whatever my eye sees, and I'm like, oh, there's a picture in there somewhere, and obviously the shit that I post on Instagram is just the good stuff. I take millions of pictures, not great stuff, but yeah, I just kind of like documenting my day and whatever that may be. A lot of people it happens to be,
Yeah. There was a time where, I used to take a lot of pictures. I still enjoy it, but it's not something that I continuously do. But when I was younger, I grew up watching nature documentaries and just, seeing how storms form and, the lightning and everything. That always amazed me. So, just being in the house and seeing how nature is, it's always been an amazing thing to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited, honestly. Like I'm probably going to get a new zoom lens soon, and the first thing I'm going to do is go to the zoo and just take a bunch of pictures of the animals and stuff. So it's but yeah, it's just one of those things. And you go back, and even just looking at pictures from last year, I get excited of just like looking at old pictures of last year. So I can only just keep imagining and taking pictures. It sucks because I had like a lot of pictures from 10 years ago, 12 years ago on a hard drive that won't boot up.
Oh man.
Yeah, like pretty much all of my old stuff, like pictures from field trips in high school to New York City and just like random shit that I can never get back now, is on one of those old shitty ass hard drives that sounds like an airplane taking off when you start it up. But so it's a lost cause. But
every great creative has been the victim of data loss.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing how the storage in hard drives has gotten so much bigger, and the size of what they're on is so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like right before the interview, me and him were talking about hard drives because I just bought new joints for music and for the pictures and all this other shit. And I'm just talking about how crazy it is, how much space there is to have. But
yep.
Back up your hard drives.
Okay.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Yep. Remember these bad boys?
Yeah. I got a couple of those at the house. And fucking with the 2000 XL, we got zip disks, which is like the next step up from that.
Yep.
It's like 10 floppies basically or some shit.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Oh God.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know you take pictures of cars, but are you a car enthusiast?
Not really. I mean, I don't really have the desire to like. I'm not the person who like wants to go to car shows or like drive them or like. I don't care to look under the hood and stuff. But if I but if I'm walking by and I see something dope, like it's why not take a picture of it? You know what I mean? So, but no, I never really been like that big into it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm big on the car shows and stuff. I don't go to them as much as I used to, but I'm big on the cars, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, in Buffalo, you don't really have many months to drive those around.
Yeah.
Potholes in the city.
Oh yeah, so, man. Well, the streets in New York probably ain't no better, but
yeah,
not at all.
Exactly. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Like when I was, taking little vacations and going out to Cali and shit last year, and like when I was walking around the neighborhoods and just seeing all the cars and that I enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Getting like old vans and just shit that look like Scooby-Doo mystery machines and just like classic cars that are in like perfect shape and just parked outside. You know what I mean? It's just I don't see that walking around neighborhoods in Buffalo. So I'll walk by and take pictures of cars and shit out there all day, or somewhere where the weather permits. But out here, it doesn't give us much.
Right. Program. Who are some of your producers that influence you?
Oh man, that's fun. I literally just posted something up on Facebook earlier, and it was just a list. I'll tell you the list right now. It was Kev Brown, Odyssey,
nice,
Samu the Sludge Monk, Jake One, and Derringer.
Oh man.
And I only know that because I literally posted that up on Facebook like 3 hours ago. Yeah, and I wouldn't, there's so many. There's everyone will say, Pete Rock, Premier, Dilla, the Beat Miners, like it's the list goes on and on and on, But I guess I highlight those guys a lot because those are just some names that get forgotten about. And I was probably listening to them dudes the most when I got the MPC. So, maybe I'm like a little bit of all that.
Yeah, that's a dope list right there.
Lord, thank you.
Jake One, I think he produced a project that came out last week as well.
Yeah. The Travis Thompson joint.
That's right. Yep.
I'm not really crazy about him on the mic. I see how he's like a youngin' doing his thing. He's definitely got his lane. But Jake's just a beast. I'm a fan of anything.
Yeah.
Really. And he's just mad versatile with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
His Prayer Hands project is amazing, man. That's one I always end up going to play.
Yeah, he's crazy with the gospel flips. He's definitely him and Just Blaze. I'd say he's probably got Just Blaze a little bit with the gospel flips.
I think so, yeah.
You know, ever so slightly. That's just my opinion. I'm sure a lot of people disagree, but I'm biased to Jake.
Now, did you see the Jay Dilla documentary that was on Hulu recently?
Nah.
Yeah, okay.
I read the book. The book was great.
This one.
Dilla Time. Yeah,
I got it, and I still haven't read it.
It made me mad.
I'll tell anyone that has watched the documentary, read the book.
Yeah.
But yes, I understand where you're coming from. The whole story is just everything that went on. But I do appreciate how Dan started out the book, given the history of Detroit.
Yeah. The way he sequenced the book like that too, with the chapters. Yeah, Dan's great. I never heard of him before this book came out, but when it came out, like I checked all his interviews and you know what I mean. He's a really good author.
Yeah,
he killed that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm slacking on the documentary.
It's kind of like, you know, a movie based off a book. You know, if you read the book and then you watch the movie, you start pointing out things that they didn't put this in there, or they completely changed that part.
Yeah. Out of all of it, the most interesting part was the Got Till It's Gone remix thing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, that's the one where I'm just like, we'll never know.
Yep.
We will never know.
It's crazy. You spoke about some of the people in your close circle. What about Agent Zero?
Agent O?
Oh, I'm sorry, Agent O, yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Oh man, yeah. Incredible monster of an MC. He's a Buffalo OG. He's like on the Buffalo Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
You know, like 25 years deep in the game, like been doing it for a minute. I mean, he's another older dude that put the battery in our back and always like
somebody that we're lucky just to say is like on a song of ours.
Yeah.
Or like even listens to our music, let alone is on our album, and you know what I mean? And we get to call him a friend, you know.
Yeah.
So he's
Agent O is a beast. Him and another local MC, Mike Brano, they just put out a really dope album a couple months ago called Again.
Yep.
It's mad exclamation mark, so it's more like again. But that's a dope album. So Agent O's dope, right, man. Yeah, he's
nasty with the beats.
Yeah, nasty with the beats and the rhymes. In my opinion, he's the illest dual threat from Buffalo. Like, just as nice with the beats as he is with the rhymes.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And again, just a good dude.
Yeah, good dude. Good dude.
You said it took some time to create We Landed on the Moon. I mean, you didn't have like anyone pushing you to put it out. But tell us what made you want to go with the whole space thing throughout the album.
I mean,
that record,
like literally we had the record and we knew the album title. We knew that we were going to use the record throughout the album. And then from there, like not every one of those songs, like not all the titles are originally what they were. Some of those songs were, you know, the title was just what he originally made the beat. It might have been called some random shit from whatever day he made that beat. And then that was the name of the song. And then once we got, you know, in the studio with Cochise to mix it, you know what I mean? We came up for the actual names of all the joints and, you know, got clever with obviously how we wanted to maintain the whole idea of the project and shit. And being able to take our own moon picture, obviously we felt like that was a perfect idea for the cover and shit, you know. So it was just trying to stick to our guns with the idea of the moon shit, you know.
It was like the perfect portion of moon, because like you know, the whole joint is We Landed on the Moon. It's got that loose theme of all that tying everything in. But you know, if you listen to the album, like, you know, it's not like we're like, there's a song where it's like, you know, I hopped off the spaceship, landed on the surface, you know, battled with aliens. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't want to, like, you know, like put a hat on top of a hat and just like moon people to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, it was just like trying not to overdo it with stuff like that. And like, again, like a lot of it was just like a lot of inside jokes. There's a lot of inside jokes that people probably I still don't think people caught,
I mean,
you know?
I feel like
all the Mad Men in Black references, you know, like it's just us.
I did pick up on that once or twice.
But goons, you know what I mean? We're just goofy dudes. We're both smart asses. Like, we just clown on each other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when we're with the homies, all we do is snap on each other and laugh and have a good time. Like, we try not to take ourselves too seriously. And even with like the album, we tried to let the music reflect that. And then, you know, every now and then give a song that shows that, you know, we're 31-year-old men who, you know, can do more than just like rap about fucking how good we can rap. You know what I mean?
Yep. Production wise, program, you did pretty much all of the album. Was one track by the Working Class, right?
Yeah. Yep. I don't. It wasn't really like it. I didn't do it on. We didn't do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that, like, you know, I was more in the groove of making beats all the time at that moment, and Pola wasn't really making beats. He was just like writing rhymes. So it was like, you know. But there was definitely mad intentions for, you know, a lot of times working on the album. He was like, "Oh, I got to slip one in there." Pause. But that's what the with the with the Working Class. That's what that is. The Working Class basically is like us, but in live band form.
Ah, okay.
So you know what I'm saying? You got you know, me, I'll probably do the drums, program the drums on the MPC, and then, you know, Pola on the guitar, and then our homie Doc Obvious, who can, you know, guitar, bass, keys, all that shit. So that's what that one is. That was like that was just the crew jamming in the studio the one day, and we like recorded it and wrote a rhyme to it.
You can find a bunch of Working Class videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
we did a show a while back, but yeah, I mean that joint. What is it? Just the last joint.
Yeah, it was just the last joint.
Yeah, just the last joint. So I think me and Steve, or me and Doc,
government.
Me and Doc just ended up playing. You know, we got all the instruments here in the lab, so like we just made the sample essentially and made the beat.
Yeah, I actually had nothing to do with that beat production wise.
Well, I mean, we ended up sending him all the stems and everything, and then like, you know, the effects and the way that the beat sounds now.
I did some light sequencing maybe, but
after he went through and kind of threw his own thing on there too, so it's a mix of all of us. So, but we got a lot of joints like that where.
Yeah, we'll probably put an EP out sometime within the next year, maybe with like 3 or 4 joints that we got with the Working Class, where it's like live instruments and then me rhyming, but you know, the way it's going to be delivered, it'll feel different than a League song will. You know, less like gritty sample chops and boom bap drums, and more, you know, even if we are using breaks, the drum breaks I'm going to pick are more like live, bigger drums, more reverb, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Now I know this album cover was in black and white. Pola, your project sounds in black and white, is also in black and white. Most of your portraits are in black and white. There's something about, you know, having images in black and white that is very distinct and brings a certain type of feel to it that, you know, having the colors just doesn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Did you purposely do that?
I didn't purposely do that. No, not really. I don't know. I think I really like I really like black and white because it's raw. You know, like it has to stand out enough without color being there. You know, of course, there's those pictures that are color where it's a big yellow wall with one person walking by with a blue shirt on, you know, and obviously without those colors being in that picture isn't the same anymore, you know, but then there's also those pictures where it doesn't need any color at all, and it's that dramatic, you know, and I don't know. I feel like sometimes the most you get the most context without color in the picture, you know. So, and I think that the sounds in black and white thing was also just because I was taking a lot of black and white pictures at the time.
Okay.
So just that's where my mindset was, and I was just kind of in the space to explore the idea of what sounds would be like, you know what I mean, without color. We obviously, when you talk to jazz musicians and all this other shit, they talk about the colorful notes and like talk about sprinkling some color and some spice and flavor on shit, you know. So like if everything was in black and white, what, you know. So
and I like to add, I like how on the back cover how you did the track list layout, you know, going along the moon.
I appreciate
it's that. All him.
I appreciate that. It's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
All him.
Yeah, that's my first time taking a crack at like really going all out with it, and I was pretty proud of how that ended up.
Yeah, that came out just right.
Appreciate it.
Young Photoshop over here.
Are the two of you performing it anytime soon? You know,
we'd like to. Unfortunately, right now, with the way the venue situation is in the city, it's like a lot of places are reluctant to do hip hop performances because when they think hip hop, they're not necessarily thinking the music that we're doing. They're thinking, I don't know what they're thinking, but a lot of places got bad taste in their mouth from, you know, hip hop. So even a lot of the venues that we used to have good rapport with are cracking down on not booking rap acts. So we're kind of on a hiatus on the live tip right now, but
okay,
you know, we got a crazy live show. That's, you know, you ask around, that's one thing that people will tell you, and definitely something that we pride ourselves in is our live show. So
I think, you know,
we're always down to get busy.
Yeah, we gotta definitely get out and see some other crowds too. You know, we've been performing for the same people for 10 years, you know, and in the same places and around the same neighborhoods and all that other type of stuff. So it's you know, we gotta
anybody watching this, tell your promoters in your city, book the league. We'll come through and smash it.
There you go. Yes, indeed. Any music videos?
Yeah, we got a couple music videos. I got a couple. Well, I think I got a solo. You got a couple solo videos. We got a video from the last album, for Explosive.
We're working on a video for Devin Hester. So the single
there you go.
Yeah.
So hopefully have that out soon. Yeah, hopefully have that out soon. And then, you know, definitely got ideas. There was enough songs on there that, you know, we got ideas for some videos for a couple joints. So it's just a matter of putting them together. And, you know, we do a lot of shit ourselves. So obviously, you know, it's going to be pretty much us recording the video, editing the video, putting it all together and stuff, you know. And so it takes a little while.
Okay. You mind if we give the people a glimpse of the video Explosive?
Not at all. Show it, man. Yeah, we're proud of that joint. Shot by the homie Suffix Al Woe from EKL.
Yep.
Super talented cat. Has his own clothing line. I think he still does the clothing line. Yeah, he's over it.
Don't frolic in the midst. Bring your click so we can get stoned like families. Can I drop the bomb? Oh yes, I can.
The counter was like, what the fuck?
The bomb? Oh yes, I
Yo, I told cats that I'm tired of games. thought you was a hero cause you playing through the fire and flames, but that's a negative. My knockout punch is like a sedative. I turn your skeletal frame and brains into gelatin. I'm like Eddie Brock, finna let the venom in. You got your mouth heavy on the cock like your men and them. Y'all should all chill with them crime raps. Ask your boy to front you a dime sack, you job whacked. Catch up or fall behind. Cat's still scared to draw the line, so I'ma keep walking. Heard my shit and lost your mind. Little bitch, this is all designed so y'all can keep talking. My name hold weight like I'm heavy set. My man Pro chop more beats than a veggie chef. I'm still here, many came, many left. It's K-Macho, let me flex, bitch.
Can I drop the bomb? Oh, yes, I can. Don't frolic in the midst. Feel the real on your life. Yes, I can. Feel the real. Don't frolic in the midst. Break it down. Yeah.
Check it, yo, if you don't know by now, we're giving them the whole 9 thou. I wrote rhymes down with 2 hands both tied down. And you know the league flow better than most guys out. And I caught y'all fighting like I won't find out, but I did, so I'ma strike while the iron is hot and give it to them live, real time, right on the spot. Slice them and drop, hit them like a lightning shock. You better off smoking pipe with a rock than never touching the mic, cause you not nice enough, like it or not. And I'ma jog your memory in case you might have forgot. With your store-bought raps, got them right from the box. You get fucked up like Puff Daddy fighting the locks. And y'all can stop waiting cause we bringing it. Jaws get broke like weed bars when I'm swinging it. I'm eons ahead and y'all can't even think of shit. Yo, this ain't the end of kids, this is just the brink of it. Fuck you think this is?
Can I drop the bomb? Oh, yes, I can.
Haven't watched that in a long time.
Explosive off the debut, Us Versus Them. Was that a cold night out there?
I don't remember it being cold, but I definitely remember that I went to the gym and did legs the day before, and we were walking around the city for like hours, and I was just in fucking pain, yo.
Put it this way.
I was in sheer agony by the end of the night. I wanted to die.
But if we were wearing the Carhartts, then it must have been pretty cold out there.
Yeah, well, you had,
like
I had a hoodie on, and it was, I'm sure it was, it was winter. It was Carhartt and Tim weather, sure. But A, we're used to it, and B, I think we were dressed appropriately. So, yeah.
Dope, man. So, a question I like to ask guests on here is, say there's a new listener to your music, and We Landed on the Moon is here right now. When they listen to that, what would you expect them, to feel, enjoy, and get from listening to the new album?
Shit. I mean, I think we got a little something for everybody, It's the album starts off on a real funky note. You know what I'm saying? We got funky joints, we got introspective joints, we got some grimy joints, we got some fun joints, we got some silly joints. So it's like, I feel like, if you don't fuck with the album as a whole, I'd be hard pressed to find a casual hip hop listener who couldn't find at least 1 or 2 tracks that they can mesh with on the album. We wanted to be able to give people like a full array of what we can do without doing it like cheesy, like, oh, we need a chick joint, we need a club joint, we need this, we need that. You know what I mean? Like, it still came together real naturally, but with the intention of giving people the full color spectrum. So
I was literally gonna say versatility.
Yeah.
So he ended up just saying there's a lot of just different joints on there. So
yeah, if you fuck with hip hop, I would, to answer your question, I would expect someone to fuck with it.
Definitely.
It's a product that we stand behind.
And I feel, this is a great introduction to the two of you. And I'm sure once they do listen to this and then find out that, Pola is also, talented musician and producer, just expand to, the other work that you have out there.
Right. Right. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to right now, we're putting the album out, and then while we're pushing the album, we're just trying to build the rabbit holes. So when people check out our shit, then they'll be like, oh, then they'll find Pola and see that he's got mad pictures and he's done photography and he's got an instrumental album where he played every single instrument front to back and there's not a single sample on the whole joint. And then they'll go down my joint and they'll find that I got multiple instrumental albums, and then they'll find our homie Doc Obvious, who's got he goes under the name, he's under Steve Syracuse Music, but they'll find his instrumental album, which is incredible. And it's just, we're just trying to, it's like Wu-Tang. We're just trying to make as many chambers for people to, and then they'll find Gaines and see the album that I did with him. And, and he's got an album in the works with a cat Teapot that'll probably end up coming out sometime next year. And it's just, we're just doing, we're just trying to.
We got a lot of outlets.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope, man. So you said that y'all goof around, y'all a bit nerdy. So what's some of the other stuff that y'all are into outside of music?
Damn. I mean,
I don't even know. I mean, it changes. You know what I mean? Like he said, we lived together for a long time. You know what I mean? So like, obviously,
he's got like mad fucking comics.
I got comics that I nerd out over. I mean, we nerd out over records. You know what I mean?
Random shit, yo. We nerd out over bodybuilding. Like we used to follow like the Mr. Olympia, like it was the Super Bowl. Yeah. We nerd out over shit like that. We nerd out over Marvel,
over pieces of studio equipment.
Yeah,
and
nerd out over the snare that Pete Rock used on the game.
Finding samples and random other songs, and like I don't know, man. It's just all it could be anything, and funny. We're both cat guys now, so funny cat memes.
Oh man. Nerd out over cats all day. Yeah, but more specifically, I say like he's got the crazy comic books. I'm into like snare drums on break beats. Like it's yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, I still collect comics, every once in a while. You one thing. I tried to do the digital, but I still can't get into it. I gotta have a physical to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like
we were just talking about like audiobooks and shit like that.
Mm.
If I'm gonna buy the comics, like the physicals, like I need to buy them all and have them all in the set and have them in my box. But like I'll buy like a 20 issue set.
Yeah.
I'll read it digitally on my iPad in bed because it's easier to do that in the dark when it's backlit and everything.
Yeah.
Comic in the dark and in your bed, it just don't work right for the paper and shit. But no, like I have to have all the physical copies in the collections. Like
that collectible factor.
I still buy every one of them.
And baseball cards.
Same thing, like I don't, we're not really we don't sample off of YouTube and shit like that. Like we have the record, we have even if it's a CD, whatever, we try to have like everything that we're grabbing from and shit. So
dope.
Collectors definitely on some collector shit. Don't like throwing boxes away.
I know the feeling. Yep. Yeah, I think the last comic series I got was through Boom Studios. It was the Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. The very last one it did, because I think this is maybe like the third time they've done this.
Yeah.
But Boom Studios, it writes pretty good stories. So
was that who's doing that joint you were telling me about? The Ninja Turtle joint you're fucking with right now?
They just started doing Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter.
Oh shit.
Started like 2 weeks ago. So
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, I think you're right. They have done like a couple of them, and I think it's the other one still might be going, but I never grabbed any of those. Now I feel like I should look into them.
Oh, he's gonna text me later on and be like, got them
See
all.
what I started?
He sat down and got them all.
I'm gonna go on eBay and I'm gonna find someone selling the whole set and I'm gonna grab every single one of them.
Dope, man. The league, which I meant that's the last question for today. How did that name come to be?
I don't even know
Oh man,
because we didn't watch the show.
nah.
Some people was thinking because there was a show, like a fantasy football show, I think called The
Yeah,
League.
yeah.
Yeah, like I know the show. Like I heard it was funny, but we never watched the show, so it wasn't based off the show. I think it was just it sounded sweet.
We were in a league of our own.
Yeah,
was
like
just
if
kinda
you
like-
want to like put like a meaning behind it, like we were on some like league of our own, like I don't know. We are
And like we had the song, like the self-titled joint, you know what I mean, or the title track on Us Versus Them, the league.
Yeah.
That joint was like the first joint. I think that's just kind of how we established it from there.
just sounded sweet.
Just went with it.
Perfect. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yes, indeed. So before we go, I'm going to let you give your shout outs and where they go and support. But also, the album, We Landed on the Moon, is not just available digitally. You also have it on CD.
Yes,
We do.
we have it on CD. We have physical copies. I'm going to the post office tomorrow actually to mail a bunch of physical copies out. So yeah, we got those. We got stickers. And yeah,
On the Bandcamp page. Yeah, hit up the Bandcamp page and that's where you can cop a CD.
yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, shit.
But yeah, it is everywhere else too.
Word.
On all the whatever digital platform you do decide, it is on there.
I put the links in the comments for everyone to go check
Word.
for that as well.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, but shit. Shout outs, man. Damn. Shout out my girl. Shout out my brothers. Shit. Shout out Cochise.
Fine.
Yeah, shit. Shout out.
Doc Obvious.
Yeah. Shout out our homie Ryan at Think Forward Studios. That's like one of our graphic design admin cats behind the scenes. Shit.
Shout out my wife, because if she hears
Yeah.
it and I don't say it, she'll kill me.
Yeah, my man just got married last week. That's why we were we put the album out and then we took a nice little break. You know what I'm saying? So we could celebrate and get and enjoy life.
But I mean, otherwise,
Yeah, shout out everybody, all the DJs, man, that have been playing our shit. There's so many DJs out there. Tone Spliff, DJ Jazzy Watt.
Indeed. Yeah.
Shit, Trav and Jason D. Oh man, the Rancha Show out in France.
Chris Green.
Optimus Prime, Chris G. Rest in peace, DJ Ruckus. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's been playing the joint, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to man, the homie who runs the hip hop page on Facebook, the homie Anthony. I can't remember his name, but that's the homie. I just connected with him. Shout out to everybody who's been showing love, man. So many people have been fucking with the album. We didn't even have this kind of like reactions when we dropped Us Versus Them. So like all these people liking shit is foreign to us. We're used to just putting some shit out and you know what I mean? That's it. So for us, this is like,
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out
Thanks
to
for
everybody.
having us on, man.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely. Most definitely. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. There was one I completely forgot about it. Program.
What it is?
The track Rex Ryan. You said you had Derringer's place when Rock Marciano
Set the verse. Yeah. I used to be at Derringer's crib a lot. He showed me how to use my first MPC and shit. But yeah, I was at his crib when where Rock sent the verse. And I remember like the vocal was, he had to do a lot of cleaning up on that vocal. I remember it was a really rough take. That's what I remember, like the sound quality. But yeah, I was there when he saw. I was there when he got the vocal in the email.
That's dope.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I finally got to meet Derringer last year when him and Mayhem Lauren had a pop-up shop in Manhattan.
Yeah, that album was crazy.
Yeah,
that album was crazy. Yeah, man, that's family.
Yeah, shout out Danger.
Yeah, man, for real.
dope,
Yeah, he's
dope.
bananas with it.
Yep. I appreciate y'all taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you.
us,
Dope
man.
new album.
We
And
love it.
I hope more people definitely go check it out, support it. And after listening to this interview, I hope you have more fans.
My
Appreciate
man,
that,
thank you, bro.
I appreciate it.
Salute.
Thank you and continue support, man.
My man, thank you.
On behalf of HHDG Media, we're going to say peace.
Peace. Hey, yo, what happened to peace?